Don't forget to like our Facebook page too. We bring you headlines first. I bring you front page stories from the Nigerian Tribune. Federal government wants peaceful resolution with ASU. Strike unfortunate minister with visa riders. As FEC okays 1.7 trillion naira contracts for transportation education ministries. 8 killed as gunmen attack cattle market in Abia. Also, correctional service reps to probe utilization of 165 trillion naira budgetary provision. Front page story, Nigerian Tribune. Adulterated fuel. NNPC files claims for damages against suppliers. It has those riders. Queues will disappear by next week. Kyari. Give up petroleum industry. Give up petroleum ministry. PDP tells Buhari. It's a page 8 story of the Nigerian Tribune. More headlines. What Emefiele told us on rumored presidential ambition. Committee of Friends. 1 minor, 3 commuters killed, 2 others injured in Plateau. Also, Amotekun arrests truck with 63 northerners motorcycles in Ondo. Soludo makes OND minimum qualification. Let's see. For political appointees. Soludo makes OND minimum qualification for political appointees. Other stories from the Nigerian Tribune newspaper front page. Drug trafficking. Kyari Bawa confessed to working directly with cartel in Brazil, Ethiopia. DELE exonerates agencies officials, promises blind justice for indictees. Those are headlines from the front page of the Nigerian Tribune.
From the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning, the major story: stations run out of petrol, scarcity paralyzes states. It comes with the riders, queues persist in Lagos, Abuja, others. Transport fares skyrocket. Small businesses grounded, Labour threatens strike, PDP flays silver. What's that all about? We'll take a look at that as we go ahead. Still out of the Punch newspaper, ASU fumes as federal government declares strike illegal. That's something you can find on page 9. On page 2, Kyari may spend more days in detention as NDLEA approaches court. Contributory pension assets rose by 1.11 trillion naira in 2021, hits 13.42 trillion naira. That's something you can find on page 23. Still out of the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning, federal government approves 1.7 trillion naira for railway maintenance. NECO printing contracts. Something you find on page 24. On page 8, bandits raid Kaduna community, abduct 22 residents. Page 4, northern youths kick as gunmen invade Abia cattle market, kill 8. Do take a look at the Punch newspaper for more details on that one. Still out of the Punch newspaper, Kyari may spend more days in detention as NDLEA approaches court. I believe we taken a look at that one. Bank loans to private sector rise by 5.1 trillion naira, hit 36.7 trillion. That's according to a CBN report. Some of the major stories out of the Punch newspaper this morning.
And from the Premium Times newspaper today, we have this headlines. Court sets aside judgment on Nigerian governor's 1.5 billion naira libel suit. Court sets aside judgment on Nigerian governor's 1.5 billion naira libel suit. And gunmen kill 8 traders in Abia market. While Nnamdi Kanu won't be allowed to wear clothes with lion head image. SSS. How suspended NPA boss Usman was removed without formal indictment. Insecurity. Zamfara residents pay 40.7 million naira protection levy to bandits following sack of military base. That's out of the world. Outrageous. FEC approves $2.8 million for Ibadan, Lagos, Port Harcourt, Maiduguri rail projects. Reps to investigate incessant cancellation of exams by WAEC. Alleged legal professorship. Pantami reacts to ASU's verdict. Strike. We are looking for ASU to continue negotiation. Minister. Why marketers refuse to take liability for importing adulterated fuel. Kyari. Reps to probe alleged mismanagement of 165 billion naira appropriated for Nigeria Correctional Service. Witchcraft. Court sentences man to death by hanging for killing daughters after several failed promises. House yields to clamor for electronic voting. Let's see more from the Premium Times newspaper. 2 dead in Ibadan road accident. Man allegedly rapes 87-year-old grandmother in Delhi, India. Also, Senate confirms Buhari's nominees as commissioners for NERC, NPC, NDIC. Those are headlines from the Premium Times newspaper.
Out of the Daily Post newspaper this morning, the major stories: bandits kidnap 22 villagers, injure 4 in Kaduna, fresh attack, security related. That's on the metro pages of the Daily Post. No immigration record of Nnamdi Kanu's departure. Kenyan government files document in court. Nnamdi Kanu, Oka, Nnewi Onitsha grounded over IPOB's sit-at-home order. Senate probes abandoned 400 billion naira primary health center project. Reps probe Aregbesola over misappropriated 165 billion naira prison funds. That's corruption related out of the Daily Post newspaper this morning. Elsewhere, we have Abba Kyari. Buhari told to sack IGP Usman Baba immediately. Yobe Assembly threatens showdown over non-completion of airport project. We might take a look at that one as time permits, of course, out of the Daily Post newspaper this morning.
And from the Guardian newspaper, if anything that has to do with this headline is concerned, then maybe we are not having any happy times ahead very soon. Harder times loom as fuel crisis lingers. Harder times loom as fuel crisis lingers. Let's hope it's just a headline. Emefiele reinforces commitment to Nigeria's economic growth. NDLEA replies police vows to prosecute officers indicted with Kyari. Eagles captain Trust Ekong launches campaign to end Africa's neglected diseases. Also, AFCC recovers 9 filling stations, lands others from serving military officer. Bad fuel. Reps summons all firms as PDP flays 201 billion naira cleanup vote. And federal government has hands clean on ASU's unfortunate strike. Young Nigerians defy CBN ban. Gamble on risky crypto assets. Zulum to build police immigration barracks in Borno. Are men not involved in Kyari's drug deal? NDLEA declares. Federal government NATO meet today, seek way out of fuel crisis. Just a few more. Let's see. I'm done here with the Guardian newspaper.
All right, let's take a look at the Nation newspaper real quick. The major one: 5 petrol-laden vessels from Belgium turned back. That's according to the NMPC. We understand that they have apologized for the importation of what is called toxic fuel. Recently, all of that we'll take a look at as we go ahead. Attempted suicide may attract 6 months community service. That's also something you can find in the pages of the Nation newspaper. Buhari appoints Bello Koko NPA MD. You can find details of that out of the pages. All right, Nation newspaper.
Professor Olu Ojedoku is our analyst today, and he's already standing by on phone. Professor Ojedoku, good morning, sir.
Top of the day to you. Top of the day, rather.
How well are you enjoying England?
Well, I'm not sure we are enjoying it. We have storms that have been looming since yesterday, but I'm here this morning, ready to go with a cup of tea, and hopefully we'll be able to do some good analysis.
All right, thank you, Prof. And in Nigeria too, we are in the midst of some storm, fuel scarcity here and there. So that's that's some sort of stuff.
That's a major talking point.
All right, okay.
Yes,
yeah. All right.
All right. So, what do you think about Medicare, of course, apologizing to Nigerians? It's in the pages of the Daily Post this morning about the importation of adulterated fuel. He also said during that press briefing that 5 petrol-laden vessels from Belgium have been turned back. He was apologetic to Nigerians about the whole situation. What's your take on that?
Well, the apology is a starting point. The apology is good, but somebody must take responsibility. And what happens in other climes is that when there's a foul-up on a monumental scale, on an industrial scale, then a number of heads will roll. And what does it? It normally starts with the head. It normally starts with the MD, the chief executive. And then, of course, it cascades down to other officers who may be responsible. So I don't think it's enough to just apologize. Heads should roll. Somebody must take full responsibility. And, of course, a lot of money has been lost Where's this money going to be recouped from? So we have to be more serious about governance. And governance means taking responsibility and being accountable and, of course, being transparent. But that's a good starting point.
He said the whole situation was unavoidable. I don't know what that means, but maybe you can help us make sense of that. I don't get that as well.
I don't think this is the first time we've been importing all this fuel. We've been doing that for a number of years now. Ever since our refineries have become decrepit, we've been doing it. So you come there as MD. I don't know whether this is the second year or whatever. And you're saying it's unavoidable. Of course, it was avoidable. Incompetence is avoidable. Clear dereliction of duty is avoidable. So of course, that's an unfortunate statement. I think he should just do the right and honourable thing, and take responsibility. And leave the scene. Let somebody else who is competent and somebody else who can at least prevent this kind of inconvenience from going ahead. A lot of Nigerians are suffering because of this. A lot of people have lost their cars, their motorbikes, and their sources of revenue. So it's not just about apologizing. It's about compensation. It's about someone taking responsibility.
A writer to that story from the front page of the Nigerian Tribune has it that the PDP has advised President Muhammadu Buhari to give up the Ministry of Petroleum Resources as its minister and appoint a competent hand to man it. And I call it a substantive minister to man it.
Well, that's a welcome constructive criticism from PDP. And normally you don't get much from them, but thank God they've come today, and I support that wholeheartedly. Of course, Buhari can't run the ministry. I mean, you have to ask the question whether he doesn't have enough on his plate already with all the crises and with all the problems that Nigeria faces. So a substantive, competent minister is needed. Somebody who has executive responsibility and doesn't have to answer every time to Mr. President on a daily basis. Yes, so I agree with PDP. That a competent person should be identified. And maybe some of the idiosyncrasies and some of the dysfunction that we found within the petroleum industry will be resolved. But that's part of the problem.
How well has President Buhari done since he became Minister of Petroleum?
Well, that's a difficult question to answer.
Well, let me say, how much has he done? Not even how well now. How much has he done?
I don't think he's done much. I think it's really run by the Minister of State, but that one is hobbled. And I use the word hobbled because he's always looking over his shoulder back to the president. Not much. The president hasn't really got the time. You understand? I think all this petroleum being in the head of state purview, or the president's purview, actually started during OBJ. OBJ started that tradition. And OBJ, of course, was a workhorse. I'm not saying it was the right thing to do, but it was a workhorse, and he had the capacity, he had the ability. But Mr. President here is laden with so many responsibilities that we are even questioning whether he's even fulfilling his number one and fundamental responsibilities. So I think this should be handed over to somebody else.
All right, quickly we take a break for some messages. Now when we come back, we continue with some of the highlights of the news today. We talk about Abba Kyari, who is in police net at the moment. We talk about some political stories. We talk about the Aregbe-Shola twist. He's under fire now.
Right.
To come and defend some of the spendings in this ministry. So just stay with us. Don't tune away.
Amazing Day instant cereal. See, they're amazing.
Babe, I can't believe I won't see you again till next week. I've really missed you.
Nah, I miss you more.
That's impossible because I miss you more.
Me, I miss you like Ilode.
Oh my. Wow, babe. We've been talking for like forever. Oh yeah. Time to hang up.
No, you hang up.
Okay. Let's hang up on 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. You didn't hang up.
Neither did you, Joe.
That's because I don't want to stop hearing your voice.
Aw, babe.
Your pillow talk doesn't have to end when you talk all day long for just 11 co per second to all networks. Dial star 311 hash to get talking right away.
Glow Unlimited.
Hey, put a spotlight on me. Now let me tell you this. I used to care for the world's opinion.
And I used to fear their rejection.
Omo, I used to beg for validation.
And I used to wait to be seen.
But now, no more.
No more.
No more.
Because my time.
My time?
My time.
My own time is now. So what are you waiting for?
I'm still Malta. Be your best.
Ọ̀rẹ́ mi, jọ̀ọ́, ǹjẹ́ mo lè yáge? Oúnjẹ òun ni àjẹkẹ́jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Kíní nǹkan ń ṣe yùngbà nínú oúnjẹ yìí.
Kọrí ìsóúnjẹ tuntun látọwọ́ ọ̀ǹgà ni.
Ṣé pé ọ̀ǹgà náà ti ní kọrí?
Àkànṣe ni láti inú èròjà ìṣẹ̀dálẹ̀. Èmi ò rò pé mo lè ṣe nǹkan kan mọ́ láláì lo ìsóúnjẹ kọrí ti ọ̀ǹgà yìí o. Ọ̀rẹ́ mi, ǹjẹ́ lè yá mi ní ọtún gèlè yín yẹn?
Ǹjẹ́ náà wáyé nìyẹn?
Fún adùn tí wọ́n máa fi dáàbò bo oúnjẹ rẹ mọ̀ yàtọ̀, lo kọrí ọ̀ǹgà tí a fi àpòpọ̀ àwọn èròjà ìṣẹ̀dálẹ̀ ṣe.
Ó ga o, ṣé ẹ ṣàlè fún wa lóúnjẹ díẹ̀ sí ṣá?
Ọ̀ǹgà, Mama's helping hand.
It's going to be a golden year, this is what we declare. Every day you go wake up to golden morning if you breathe, say yeah. It's going to be a golden year, as we don't declare. We go wake up every day to golden morning if you breathe, say yeah.
Have a golden morn, a golden day, a golden week, a golden month, and a golden year. Golden morn, delicious nourishment for the whole family.
Good morning, Baba.
Oh, how are you?
Doing very well, Baba. I need a bag of maize and a bag of cassava.
My child, the ones that are here are not too good, truth be told. Majorly all my farm proceeds are in bad conditions.
Baba, haven't you heard of Modesty Farm Nigeria?
Hope it is not one of those agro-business that are to one's problem.
No, Baba. Modesty Farms Nigeria is an agro-business company that has a good track record and they can be trusted in helping to cultivate farmland, especially for maize and cassava. And their farmlands are free from herdsmen's problem. You can be sure to get the value for your money as they have farm experts that can handle your farms.
So, how can I get through to them?
Modesty Farms Nigeria is located at Lad Lab Complex, Shehu Bus Stop, Ologunero, Ibadan. You can also reach them for more information on
0912-515-8491.
Modesty Farms Nigeria.
Farming is what we do.
Every kid is amazing at something. Give them amazing day. Amazing day instant cereal. Give them amazing day. Same calcium as a glass of milk. For healthy bones and teeth. Excellent source of protein. For daily growth and strength. Calcium, protein, vitamin A, dietary fiber.
Golden Penny Amazing Day Instant Cereal. Feed that amazing.
All right, welcome back. It's 32 FM 94.9, Dugbe Ibadan. Don't forget you're live on Facebook, you're live on YouTube too. You can put your comments on those pages and we'll read them much later. We still have Professor Oluwajadokun in the studio, on phone with us, contributing to the program Break It Down Newspaper Review. Prof, good to have you once again.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yes, this next report is about Aregbe Shola, who is in charge of the Interior Ministry. We have this headline from the cable: Reps to probe correctional service over poor working conditions of staff. Premium Times Nigeria reports it as reps to probe alleged mismanagement of 165 billion naira appropriated for Nigeria Correctional Service. The Guardian newspaper reports it as reps probe Aregbe Shola Nababa over misuse of 165 billion naira for correctional service. And the Nigerian Tribune reports it this way: Correctional Service reps to probe utilization of 165 billion naira budgetary provision. Meanwhile, we know that former Governor Rauf Aregbesola is in Osun State at the moment, and he is hell-bent on making sure that the incumbent governor doesn't get a return to the Abere government house. Now, Ajekilano, as it said in Yoruba, Mokuleni, is this connected or are they different issues?
Let's just be very clear. Let's be very clear. The House of Reps, the Senate, they have oversight function, which means that they can, give oversight. They can undertake inquiries and to establish how our money, taxpayers' money, is being spent. The headline saying probe and mismanagement, I think, is misguided. I think, you understand, the prison services, in terms of their services, or we now call them correctional services, are not doing well. But the question is then exploring whether there's been value for money. So the fact that they're not doing well and the fact that their conditions are abysmal doesn't necessarily mean that money has been mismanaged. It might mean that the money is not even enough in the first place. So I think the House of Reps and the Senate, or whatever the case might be, are pursuing their constitutional responsibility. That's their responsibility. Every arm of government has a responsibility under the Constitution, Section 5, Section 4, and Section 6. Having said that, there's a suspicion that the House of Reps is suddenly alive to their responsibility because Baja is very close to Ashiwaju, and therefore it's a spillover. Right. But my own view, first and foremost, is that the House of Reps are undertaking their constitutional responsibility.
All right, Prof. Sorry, Kenny. The question now is, are they trying to keep Aregbesola busy?
Well, are they trying to keep him busy? Well, I think they're trying to do their job. But I also think some people suspect that there's some mischief that is laden within it all. I just think that the House of Reps should be allowed to go on with their responsibility without any sensationalism. And I think the issue of going on in Osun State is one out of 36 states, 37 if you include the Federal Capital Territory, and that's just a local storm in the teacup. The only reason why we are magnifying it is because a political godfather and his son are suddenly at loggerheads. It happens in politics. Awolowo and SM Afolabi, Awolowo and Adelaku. All these things have happened throughout political history, and I don't think they're anything new. It's just politics. It happens.
So you're saying that there's some politicking going on here. Of course, the speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila, we understand he's a staunch loyalist of Tinubu, the presidential hopeful. And this, of course, coming after the recent outburst from Aregbesola calling out Tinubu, saying that he's turned himself into a god and all of that. That points to some, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, it's suspicious. Well, the only reason why it's suspicious is because Baja has not been very enthusiastic in oversight over the military debacle in terms of the spending of the armed forces, the finances of the armed forces and defense and so on and so forth. He's not been enthusiastic over other areas, and suddenly becomes very enthusiastic over this particular matter. So that's the reason why people are suspecting. But if this is what is going to get the House of Reps to begin to perform their oversight functions effectively and efficiently, I give them kudos. I mean, at the end of the day, they have to do their job. We pay them. So if at the end of the day they are weighing in into a crisis that is happening between Tinubu and his political godson, really, I don't care that much. Let them do their jobs and let them do their duty. It is their constitutional responsibility, and they should do it not just for this prison service, but in fact all other services that are under the purview of the federal government.
In 2005, Professor Jedokun, Babalola Borishade was the Minister of Aviation, and at that time we had, I think, about 3 plane crashes in Nigeria. There was an outcry against him. In fact, some people actually attributed to some spiritual or whatever on his administration of that particular ministry. Now, the correctional services have been prone to a lot of attacks, prison breaks here and there. Why do we have all this now in recent times, since Aregbesola became the Minister of Interior?
Well, first and foremost, you have to trace it back to whoever is in charge, political head of the ministry. Things are not going wrong. Then you have to question the competence of the person that is in charge. So I think Aregbesola has a number of questions to answer. The prison breaks, for sure. The conditions of service of the prison, they've always been abysmal anyway. But of course, he hasn't improved it. So he has questions to answer. And so he at least should be able to give an account of what is going on from that point of view. So I don't think there's spiritual forces at bay. I think it's just a question of competence. It's also sometimes a question of the monies available. These monies, are they being expended correctly? Are they being expended judiciously? I think those are fundamental questions, So Agbeshola should answer the question, should respond adequately, and if he's found wanting, the honorable thing for him to do, or he should have done anyway in many instances, is to have resigned. Once there's a prison break on that scale, the political head of the ministry should be held responsible and normally would resign. But again, this is Nigeria. Our culture is different, so I'm not surprised.
All right, Prof, before we go on a quick break this morning, let's have your take on Abba Kyari. We understand that he might be jailed for life, for forfeiting his assets. That's according to the NDLE Act, which stipulates that punishments ranging from jail term, life imprisonment, and property forfeiture might await him following the allegations that, hang over him at this moment. What do you think of that?
Well, it depends on the specific charges that have been levied or the specific charges that have been drawn up. We haven't seen the charges yet, but it's very serious to be operating as a drug baron or to be operating in consonance or in conspiracy with drug barons, importing drugs and, facilitating payments and so on and so forth. So if that is the case, then Abba Kyari is in deep dodo, deep trouble. He already has the extradition matter with the United States, the Hush Puppy debacle. Right. So, of course, this is quite serious. But you see, what is more serious for Nigeria is that somebody who was given the adoration and adorated as a super cop, somebody was, a poster boy, you understand, for law enforcement. Even though many people knew his story, his backstory in Lagos during the SARS, that it was up to a lot of excesses. But he was a poster boy, and a future IGP could be fingered in many shady deals, not just shady deals, many deals bordering on drug trafficking and so on and so forth. I think it's rather unfortunate. And it questions the police force, its management, its recruitment, its officer corps. I'm not saying that all of the police force is corrupt, but I'm saying that you have to ask questions as to how this man slipped through the net all this while.
I wonder why the police itself could not track him down or have cases against him or establish cases against him. It took the NDLEA to actually come up with a substantial case against him. Meanwhile, there were rumors and there were allegations here and there, even before now, against Abba Kyari.
Well, not just that. You know that they couldn't even decide whether to extradite him. They couldn't even decide the manner of discipline that should be visited upon him as a result of the Hush Puppy debacle. In fact, there was an attempt to cover it up, many people will say. So you see, the whole police force and the way they're operating raises serious questions. I think the police should not investigate themselves. I think there should be a public complaints commission for the police, specifically for the police, independent of the police, separate from the police, and headed by somebody who is a non-police official or ex-police official, non-ex-police official, who understands and can at least investigate complaints against serving police officers. It will not do for the police service commission to investigate the police. No, because many of them are ex-police and have an interest. We need an independent body investigating them. Until we do that, we'll continue to have a few Abba Kyaris here and there.
Right. Quickly, we'll take a break for another round of message. When we come back, we open the phone lines and we take some few other headlines.
Every kid is amazing at something. Give them amazing day. Amazing day instant cereal. Give them amazing day. Same calcium as a glass of milk. For healthy bones and teeth. Excellent source of protein. For daily growth and strength. Calcium, protein, vitamin A, dietary fiber.
Golden Penny Amazing Day Instant Cereal. Feed their amazing.
Some people go just promise you berekete, but they go only fit give you bear. Some no go fit do pass bere. If them too try safe, some fit struggle give you bereke. But you see glow, they no go just give you berekete. They go even give you berekete plus join safe.
Yes, so when new and existing Glow users enter Glow Bracket Plus Plus, they will begin enjoy 100 Naira MB bonus data on top every first recharge of the month, another 60 MB bonus on top every other recharge of the month, and another 400% call time bonus. And if you be new Glow subscriber encore, now 1,000 Naira bonus credits then go first take knock you welcome on top all the recharge them. This one pass all four. Nah, four. This one now Bracket Plus Plus. Just dial *777# or activate new Glow SIM. Make yourself fit get joy on top your unlimited value. Waiting for Glow Bracket Plus Plus. Glow, joy unlimited.
Hey, put a spotlight on me. Now let me tell you this. I used to care for the world's opinion.
And I used to fear their rejection.
Omo, I used to beg for validation.
And I used to wait to be seen.
But now, no more.
No more.
No more.
Because my time.
My time?
My time.
My own time is now. So what are you waiting for?
Amstel Malta. Be your best.
Mommy, my teacher said 90% of my brain will develop by the time I am 5.
Really? What else did she say?
She said I need iron in my food for my brain to grow well.
Oh, very true. And that's why I give you Cerelac Junior every day, which provides half of your daily iron needs.
And Cerelac Junior tastes so good.
Cerelac Junior with Iron Plus. It's all good, Mom.
ọ̀rẹ́ mi jọ ǹjẹ́ mo lè yáge oúnjẹ òun ni jẹ́ ká jẹ́ mbẹ́ kíní nǹkan ń ṣe yùngbà nínú oúnjẹ yìí.
kọrí ìsóúnjẹ tuntun látọwọ́ ọ̀ǹgà ni.
ṣé pé ọ̀ǹgà náà ti ní kọrí.
àkànṣe ni láti inú èròjà ìṣẹ̀dálẹ̀ èmi ò rò pé mo lè ṣe nǹkan kan mọ́ láláì lo ìsóúnjẹ kọrí ti ọ̀ǹgà yìí o. ọ̀rẹ́ mi ǹjẹ́ lè yá mi ní ọtún gèlè yín yẹn.
ǹjẹ́ náà wáyé nìyẹn.
fún adùn tí wọ́n máa fi dáàbò bo oúnjẹ rẹ mọ̀ yàtọ̀ lo kọrí ọ̀ǹgà tí a fi àpòpọ̀ àwọn èròjà ìṣẹ̀dálẹ̀ ṣe.
ó ga ọ ṣé ẹ ṣàlè fún wa lóúnjẹ díẹ̀ sí ṣá.
ọ̀ǹgà Mama's helping hand.
Uncle Dentist, what be cavities and how Colgate take they protect my teeth from cavities? Shey they use Comfort?
No dear, na hole for teeth they cause most tooth pain will be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, take brush every day. The confirmed formula could help keep natural calcium inside our teeth. We could protect them from tooth decay.
Time don't reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate. Because Colgate locks calcium in.
Yes, cavities out!
And the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
It's going to be a golden year, this is what we declare. Every day you go wake up to golden morning if you breathe, say yeah. It's going to be a golden year, as we don't declare. We go wake up every day to golden morning if you breathe, say yeah.
Have a golden morn, a golden day, a golden week, a golden month, and a golden year. Golden Morn, delicious nourishment for the whole family.
Well, it's great to have you back. The Break of Dawn paper review, 32 FM 94.9, 5 minutes past 7 o'clock. We'll be opening phone lines now, 0705 5000 949, 080 97000 949. We are very much live on social, of course, Facebook, YouTube this morning. We have some messages. Good morning to you, DELE, Kenny, and Dr. Ojedokun. Almighty God bless you all. Thank you very much. That's from Omo Basharun Abiola. Also, Evangelist Suluwafemi Ojetunde says, good work. God bless you. Afolabi, we see you as well. Abraham Sumonu, I appreciate you. So also have some other messages here. Omo Basharun Abiola says, don't let us be deceiving ourselves. We can't continue doing things the same way and expect different result. It's not done. We are appealing to this present administration under the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari to please do the needful. Look at the situation in the country. ASU and strike, problem of fuel scarcity and blackouts in some parts of the country. Restructure the country now before the country restructures itself. Thanks and have a great day. Appreciate you. Thank you for that message. On YouTube, we have this one from Timothy Okore. He says, good morning, DELE and Kenny. Government has no right to declare any strike illegal. There wouldn't have been any strike if they had lived up to the previous agreement. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. I'm John.
Good morning, sir.
Well done, dear.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Abakari Abakari was untouchable because of his family background. We equally have the life of Abakari in the first and other paramilitary organization. I remember the life of Captain Talara in the Wazini Saga. So if Abakari refuses prosecution here, or even state, the extradition of that becomes a nullity. Another question that the professor has said it, as a branch of the National Assembly has oversight function to investigate. So the question is that is it the right time or is the what have become the right thing at the wrong time because of the face of him and his godfather? I'm John
All right, thank you very much. 0705 5949 0809 7949.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. We can hear you.
Yeah, my name is ADEYANJU from US.
You're welcome.
On another that I want to comment on. The truth being about to embark on by the National Assembly. I've always been telling people our own is to remain silent and be watching their film by now. It's God that is answering our prayers. And I want to thank God for for who He is. Because whatever you do today, you'll be rewarded in one way or the other tomorrow. These people, they combined together. Another person was winning the election. The whole world was aware. And they combined together. The man from Lagos that they are fighting, I will call somebody from Abuja, and they stopped the announcement of the election. And at the end of the day, they spent billions of naira and make sure that they intimidated into their something they did not do. The wrong person won the election. And all of us, especially the people who are over there, they will remain silent. If anything happens in the country now, they will be saying all sorts of nonsense that the military is not allowed. But thank God today, God has dedicated the winner. Even if he's not in the office, let them continue to fight themselves. If we keep watching them, they will see a lot of revelations. How they have been destroying this country. Arabia and Tinubu, the two of them will say today, they will be faced in Nigeria, and all of us will be thanking God, and they will be feeling their nakedness. Let's have the best of today.
All right, thank you. 070 55949 08097,949. Those are the numbers to call this morning. We have another caller. Hello. 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 Good morning. All right. Okay, you can just do well to call back the studio line. We have like 5 more minutes before we wrap up, and we still have Professor Ojedoku. Now, did you agree? Do you agree with the submission of the last caller, Professor Ojedoku?
Not necessarily so, but he's entitled to his own view anyway in that respect. But my own particular concern is this stand up between ASU and the federal government declaring the strike illegal. I think that before you enter strike, there are certain steps that have to be taken legally. And if you haven't taken those steps legally, then of course it's illegal. But that doesn't mean that the federal government is not at fault, because there are many agreements that have been signed, and people are asking why has the federal government not been able to redeem those agreements? And the federal government's response is that there's no money.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. What's your name?
Good morning.
What's your name, please?
Hello, good morning.
What's your name, please? We can hear you.
My name is Kola. I'm calling from Okado.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead, caller. We can hear you. Just go ahead.
Yes. It must be told. Mr. President is the Minister of Petroleum. He must be responsible for everything that happened in that industry. And instead of Mr. President to remove Abakari, he's considering removal of IGP, as if the man is responsible for Abakari fuck-up. And secondly, national...
All right, thank you very much. You have to keep it civil, please, when you come in here.
I swear.
You have to keep the conversation,
Hello.
civil. Thank you very much. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. We can hear you, please.
My name is John Olawale from Nigeria. Anyway, I want to talk about the Minister of Education that said that he was surprised on the issue of our strike. Well, we too, I personally even surprised to hear that Mr. Minister for Education said he's surprised. I surprised too. We even uttered that statement because this has to make a public announcement before they went into the strike. So, and the minister was there. He didn't even summon them.
He didn't having any meeting with them. Now come out and say he was surprised. I surprised you that it's unfortunate. The kind of people that we have at the end of our years. Thank you and good night.
Right. General Awaju was surprised. Hello. Hello, good morning.
This is from Melanie.
You're welcome, lady.
Concerning Aregbesola, the first caller has spoken. Let them continue to talk within themselves. At least at the end of the day, we Nigerians, we are here listening. Let's see how far they go. But one thing I want our people to realize, shining your eyes doesn't solve our problem, but shining our brain and see as things goes and know the next step to take. And concerning Abakari, my advice is let them do the needful. Let him become a civilian and let him be tried in a civil court. This idea of trying to demote and I don't think it's a welcome development by an average Nigerian.
All right, thank you so much. We have just one more minute before we wrap up in the studio. Professor Ojedoku.
Yes, I think at the end of the day, what we want in Nigeria is a life, easy life, petrol, electricity, security. And let's hope that before this government leaves, we can be guaranteed all those things. Without all those things, I think life remains a misery. And
before this government wraps up?
Yes. Oh. Well, that's our prayer.
That's high hopes.
We have to pray for
high hopes.
Well, if we fail to have high hope, then we are dead. So we keep on hoping for the best.
All right, and unfortunately, just before we let you go, we don't rely on leaders that delivered on their electioneering promises. Instead, we choose leaders in the way of politics, not in the way of their performance in office.
Yes, because there's no ideology, there's no principled position we follow. We follow those who can either give us some cash or those that are flamboyant. And I think we have to go to politics of substance and apart from politics that's just on the surface.
Thank you, Professor Jedokun. We talk to you some other time.
Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Thank you.
All right, this is where we call it a wrap on the Break of Dawn paper review for today. That's Friday, the 17th of February 2022. My name is Kenny DUROTILU.
My name is DELE ADEYANJU. Thank you so much for your time with us.
The station admired by other radio stations.